they're just kind of randomly running along the street.
I don't know how else to describe it.
We can see the extent of the damage.
This is Los Angeles. This is Los Angeles.
Wednesday, April 29th, 1992, and the city of Los Angeles is erupting.
You've got hundreds of people who have been going in and out of this store.
We can hear
CHP
sirens.
officers just pulling up to the scene right now.
For nearly 6 days, the LA area would be burned and looted following an acquittal in the Rodney King beating case. 4 LAPD officers walked away from a Simi Valley courtroom that afternoon, and within minutes, angry crowds began to gather. Downtown at Parker Center, hundreds of people stormed the main entrance, while in South Central, rock and bottle throwers were attacking motorists and taking over the intersection of Florence and Normandy.
I thought this guy was dead, and I was helpless. I couldn't do anything.
Helicopter pilot Bob Turr was circling over that intersection and shot the infamous pictures of truck driver Reginald Denny being attacked.
The truck was stopped. The driver was pulled out of the vehicle, dragged to the ground, and viciously beaten.
First with kicks and punches, then with a thrown brick to the head.
He takes it and, just like a baseball pitcher, pitches it right into the head of Reginald Denny. It was the worst experience imaginable, literally seeing somebody killed before my very eyes.
Retired LAPD Lieutenant Ricky Banks grew up near Florence and Normandy and was on patrol as the chaos and the hostility began to spread.
I knew people were angry, I knew people were upset, but what took place hours later, there was just no way I could anticipate that.
Never seen anything
like it.
like
It felt like a war zone.
Really?
It was eerie. The skies had gotten darkened by the smoke. Me and my partner being shot at several times, and we were trying to save and rescue as many people as possible. Just devastating.
Scores of fires would flare up throughout the city, and gunmen were taking pot shots at responding fire crews.
It was almost fatal for me.
Scott Miller was driving a hook and ladder that night out of Station 35. Near 37th and Western, he was hit by a bullet fired from a passing car.
It struck me in the cheek. I was looking over my right shoulder, and it followed along my jawbone, entered into my neck, severed my carotid artery. I dropped face first onto the steering wheel.
Miller's life would be saved by the quick actions of his crew. 20 years later, his facial scar has nearly disappeared, but his left arm remains partially paralyzed. The lack of a substantial police presence would give rioters control of the streets in many neighborhoods.
My fellow citizens,
Despite a plea for calm from Mayor Bradley, residents and merchants in Koreatown would actually arm themselves and stand guard against roaming mobs. As police reinforcements finally arrived on day 2,
Armored personnel carriers coming south on Figueroa.
Bradley would call for a dusk to dawn curfew.
Can we all get along? Can we get along?
By the time Rodney King appealed for peace on day 3, the National Guard was already arriving. Then hundreds of federal troops the following day. Before it was over, the death toll would soar past 50. 1,100 structures would burn, and the city would suffer nearly $1 billion in damage.
I remember looking out and seeing Los Angeles on fire.
Blair Taylor was a young executive back in 1992. Today, he's president of the Los Angeles Urban League. He says that while progress has been made over the past 20 years, especially in the minority community's relationship with the LAPD, economic development still lacks, and it's memories of the unrest that may be responsible.
It's very hard to get some of those businesses to let go of those images that you saw back in 1992, right? And sort of think of this as a viable place to do business.
One need only drive through some of the affected neighborhoods today to see the empty lots and the boarded windows. Lingering scars of a nightmare still with us 20 years later.
this is Los Angeles.